I've been playing Call of Duty for the last hour doing the raping stuff.
Slamdown is sponsored by BODYSLAM and Jam, and WWE Smack Talks and Impact Fan Nation.
Produce.
One thing I'm hearing you focus.
What about now?
There you go.
Okay, yeah, I have to lean my gas. I don't want to be in this the house. Yeah, it's all good, man. Oh yeah, he's playing. Yeah, that's what's going on right now.
Welcome to another live episode of Slamdown Livestream. Today we have got Charles, my co-host as always, and we've got a special guest, Ash Fury. Charlie's actually going to be leading today's show because, let's just say, I'm not 100%. So it's the complete Charles takeover.
How you doing, Impact fans, wrestling fans? Slamdown welcomes you, and we thank you for tuning in this week for our impactful commentary, sponsored by Impact Fan Nation. How's everybody doing? Like you said, we have a guest with us, Ash Fury of Impact Fan Nation. Ash, would you like to say your hellos and things of the sort?
Yeah, hello.
Hello, everybody. As I guess I have a little bit more to say as the show goes on. Of course, we have my wonderful co-host Ashley Friend, of course, and we're going to Ashley. Would you like to shout out anybody? Like to plug anything to say in the beginning of this show here?
No.
Yeah, nothing really comes to mind.
Give you the opportunity. That's good. But I thought it was a good show. I did. It was a lot of it involving the wrestling show. It had kind of like all the elements that you needed. We all had differ when it comes to the whole merger thing, but we'll get into that. So the show starts with James Storm and Lashley arriving in their vehicles, their respective vehicles, with JB announcing about their title match. You know, they go into an impressive promo package with James Storm, started off speaking, and they had some nice hip-hop music going on. They were showing the action that's been going on throughout the last couple weeks and things. Had Lashley with his interview with Bruce Pritchard, you know, and it was a pretty good promo package, you know, video package to start the show off. It was nice. And they jumped straight into match one, LAX versus Jake Holmes and James Coleman. Of course, we pretty obvious that they were jobbers. You know, no one knows, and I'm pretty sure that they're well known in the indie scene or known. But Santana starts this match and gets the crowd going. The crowd absolutely loves LAX. Let me tell you something. Somebody told me, a couple of people said, BQ of the King of the Mountain podcast, just as well as the chef, Luciano, of the Hillcast. They both said, because they've been in the Impact Zone, Chef goes, you know, to every taping that's in Orlando. And they said that, you know, TV doesn't give them justice what the fan and what the crowd sounds like. And what I did, I listened to Impact with my headphones this week, and I heard everything they were saying. The Impact Zone is a lot more live than we think. The fans are really loud, and there are things that they even chant that we don't hear because for some reason, I don't know if it's production or what, that you really can't hear it as well. But I guarantee when you're in there, it is live. And today, On Thursday they were about that. They were live for some Impact Wrestling, and it really helped me, and it really helped me enjoy the show just that much more. So yeah. What I want you guys to do. I suggest, if you can't really hear it on the TV well, put some headphones in, something, and you'll be able to hear everything and hear how the crowd is reacting. It was really nice to hear. I really liked it. Like I said, it was basically a squash match. LAX were very impressive. There were many quick tags, many double team moves by LAX. They just made it look good. It was definitely one of those matches that was booked in the old school way to protect your champion, which is no problem for me, because not only do you have your champions looking good and very polished, fresh looking, because they're already a good tag team. LAX, Santana Ortiz has been good for a long time. They're champions in the House of
Glory.
Yeah, House of Glory. The House of Glory tag champions right now, as well. So, and they finished with a street sweeper, and it was a pretty quick match. I liked it, basically because it served its purpose. After the match, Conan gets in and cuts a promo about, this is about Latin empowerment, and that the good old boys have been in power long enough, and then he goes on to introduce each member of LAX, with his own description of who and what they are and what they do. And then DK. They bring themselves onto the ring, and it's a brawl. You know how Impact loves to do it, and Jeff Jarrett loves to do it. He loves his talents to brawl when they feud. I think it was cool. I liked the match. It was very tasteful to me. It's done, like I said, an old school taste. Like, I'm more of an old school type of man when it comes to booking. I enjoyed that. I do like more style of wrestling than new school now. So I got both of those mixes in this match, and it was great. It was good that they started off with a match within the first 5 minutes, and it being, to showcase your tag team division, which has been lacking before Anthem took over, and showcasing all the people that you bring in. I think it was great that they brought it in that way. It didn't just go on too long with any video packages or promos or anything like that. They've been doing it pretty good with starting off the show with wrestling.
Yeah, I thought it was a good way to showcase all that and more. I just wish that they would present tag teams in a much more different way than that kind of reminds you a little bit of NXT though. That's my only bad side to it. It kind of reminds me a little bit of NXT, just with a 6-sided ring.
Well, NXT has 4 sides, so I don't really see the comparison, because Impact Wrestling was doing 6 sides before, well, hell, they're only doing 6 sides aside from AAA, but that's in Mexico. And Impact Wrestling, the things that Impact Wrestling are doing, they were doing before NXT. NXT kind of like took the style of Ring of Honor and Impact Wrestling at the time. Because remember, back in the TNA days when they started with Spike TV, and before that in the Talent days, it was high impact action, all about your wrestling, not too many storylines like NXT has been for a while. So I would say, if there's any comparison, NXT is just trying to do what they've seen Impact for a while.
I guess you're kind of right, but I'm just saying, because sometimes sometimes when you're like watching so many shows, NXT gets fresh in your mind, and that's what you start to think of when you're like watching this and then that. So it just becomes fresh in your mind, and you start to like forget like who did it first and who started doing it. You know what I mean?
Right. I guess it's easy to get caught up in what's going on now, and things like that. So that's understandable too. But when it comes to me, I've watched so much wrestling for so long, and all this stuff sticks in my mind and stuff like that, especially when it comes to Impact, because I'm an Impact fan, big time. So there's not much about Impact Wrestling or / TNA that I wouldn't know about, or you can get by me anyway. So it's each their own, but I think it was a good match. What about you, Ashley?
I thought it was a good match. My only problem is, and I've said this before, I don't like the use of development talent. I've never been a big fan of it, and I'll never will be a big fan of it. Right. I would rather see LAX go after an established team. I would rather them go and beat an established team, because in that way you're sort of making LAX look more epic, more dominating. When you see them go against a developmental, I sit there and I think, well, anybody can beat a team like that. Anybody can do it. You know, it doesn't make it special for me.
That poses a question, though, Ashley. What established team is there in Impact Wrestling?
Well, you know, we've got the whole of the GFW roster, so there's plenty of teams they've got as well.
Right, but they're not established on TV and Impact Wrestling. We don't know who those people are. Some of us do, but most of us don't.
Yeah, but I would rather seen a GFW team. This team, you could tell there's two people being picked at random. You had the feel about them. At least with a GFW team or a team that's been together, you know, a team that could be competitive against LAX, where these weren't. These were just demolished. I would have more...
That's the point of the match. It's a squash. That's the point of it, to make LAX look good and to demolish their opponent. That's the point. But I just feel like, you know, you got to see it for what it is. It wasn't a match to showcase competitiveness between two tag teams. It was a match to show the domination of one championship team.
Yeah, I just don't like them. I've never been a big fan. I've criticised them when the WWE have done it, and I will criticise when Impact does
I get it. Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, old school booking. Not everybody likes it. For a long time, you know, I felt like, you know, you can do away with it. But I feel like right now, in the era and what's going on in Impact Wrestling now, that you can use it, that is needed, because you have so many changes, and you need your top stars to look like right now when you're in this transitional phase, because right now nothing is really etched in stone except for Lashley in the heavyweight division is being really competitive right now. Lashley's the world heavyweight champion and he's unstoppable. Right now the X division is up in the air. They're trying to figure that out. Knockout division is up there. Figure that out. The tag team division is up there. Trying to figure that out. But they're doing more so now, trying to more so find their way with LAX and Reno Scum and the others that are brought in. But of course we have a little problem with Reno Scum right now with Adam Thorsto. So, you know, they're in a situation that I see that, you know, you have to have a top team. New Day was at WWE's for so long, so they continue to get over, no matter who it was. So, in fact, things like this, while we're building teams, we'll get them over on a team that no one knows, so that our other teams don't look bad. Yeah, they can be competitive too, so they could have gone the way that you definitely like to go, which isn't bad either, because you can still make both teams look good, which they've done a good job of with Garza Jr., Laredo Kid, when they lost, you know, in the tag team championship match and all that, and the other teams. But, you know, I understand the move. But, yeah, that's definitely just a thing where everybody differs in opinion when it comes to how you book matches. Mm.
Yeah. I see that. Mostly though, it looks like they have a long way to go before they can actually have more established tag teams, though.
Yeah, they're getting there. I think they're even more established tag teams right now than there were last year with Falaba and Baraka. That's one. You got Garza Jr., Laredo Kid. That's two. Scum, even though one's injured, that's three. You have the tag team champions, LAX, that's four. Decay's gone now, so we don't know what's going to happen with that. VOW's coming in, the Veterans Award, that would be five. And then, I'm sure they got more. You got the Bromance that's over there in Noah right now. I don't know if they'll come back to Impact Wrestling. Even if they do, that's six one right there. And then they got plenty of stars that they could put in tag teams or bring in. So talking to Dave Chris and Jake Chris of the independent circuit, and that would be another tag team if they were to come in too. So it's definitely already looking up. It's already larger and it seems like better than it was at this point last year, easily. Even at this point, even at the end of last year, it's still better than it was. So I'm optimistic about it. I like what I see. I think they got a good team as your champions, of course. And then there's a name that's well known. You got yourself two people that made it something, which was Homicide and Conan, and then you got these two young studs on the independent team that come in and show their stuff, on your show, and they win the tag team championship. It gets some pretty stiff, good competition. So, I like it. I like the direction it's going.
I definitely believe it's going to take time as well.
All right.
It's definitely going to take time for them to get where they were. You know, there is a lot of changes going on, and we'll probably see more changes later on with tapings as well.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, there's definitely gonna be some changes going on, especially now that Toronto's injured. They're gonna have to do something about that because I'm sure they had a storyline established for them, as well as Decay with Steve leaving and stuff like that. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they're gonna do about those unfortunate incidents. All right. Next we got that Ken Jarrett comes and enters the ring after the commercial break and declares that the new ownership is doing everything that they can to make Impact great. And I guess their fourth order of doing that was to announce that Impact Wrestling and GFW have merged into one. They are as one. She didn't go into any detail as to what that means for the company. Don't know, but I would think that their GFW is going to be on Impact Wrestling. The wrestlers, the talents, and there will be no more of these GFW shows. But who knows? So fans going to a thank you, Karen chant. Thank you, Karen. I don't know what to thank for. I mean, I don't know. She's part of the company too. She actually does think so. She had made this happen. So, and she thanks the fans. She says, "No, thank you." She goes on to declare the night to be a night of champions. The X Division champion will be the defendant. Impact World Heavyweight Championship will be defended, and the Impact Knockout Championship. And see what she does. She starts to introduce Sanjay Dutt. Don't know what happened there. The music started to introduce. I thought it was some kind of somebody interrupting her for some kind of deal or something. But Sanjay Dutt coming in like a few seconds earlier than he should have. So he gets in the ring and he talks about him being the new player from the Himalayas. Sanjay has a different persona now. He doesn't have this Indian-centric, I guess would be a word for it.
The stupid, or the stupid guru.
Yeah,
the stupid guru.
Yeah, that music he didn't have. That stereotypical. It's pretty racist. And every time it seems like a person from another country comes into a wrestling organization, they have to put them with music that they think is of their country and of their heritage and culture and stuff like that. If they're Asian, they got to get music over the Orient. If they're Indian descent, they got to get Indian music. But it doesn't sound like Sanjay Dutt probably has spoken an Indian word in his life. He sounds like he was born in Florida somewhere. But so he doesn't have that Indian without regular team like hip hop type of. He speaks, letting know he's a player of the Himalayas and that he's a cornerstone, one of the ones to help the exhibition be the cornerstone of Impact Wrestling, which is correct. Impact Wrestling and known because and he says the exhibition event with him to get the main event spots that night with him in it. That's when Andrew Everett enters the ring. We had a lot of interruptions from entering the ring in the second. Andrew Everett enters the ring, talks about going through everything that Shane Helms has been coming through week after week, fighting person after person, and under his rules, under his however he wanted him to do it, and putting him through the ringer basically, and that he should be the only one in challenge for the title. Well, Shane Helms and Trevor Lee decide they want to come to the ring to take it. Well, they enter the ring and Shane Helms declares that no one but him makes decisions about the X Division because he and Trevor Lee are the top of the Shane Helms is like this historic cruiserweight, one of the greatest cruiserweights ever in wrestling history. So he feels like he has the claim to whatever's been going on because he is Trevor Lee. And then here comes Bruce the Charge. It's the ring and let Shane Helms know that he doesn't run a damn thing. He says this makes things crazy for the night, and he says that he's going to do exactly what Sanjay asked. He's going to make a main event. The X Division Championship will be the main event tonight on live, Pop TV, Impact Wrestling, and it was a six-man title match. He did not say Andrew, Trevor, and then another policy. What do y'all think about this segment, guys? Anything to say?
Well, I think it was awesome. That it was like the whole X Division was like the main event and stuff. It felt like it was like getting back to like roots, old school roots.
Right.
It was kind of like a shot in the arm that the X Division kind of needed, sort of.
No doubt. Yeah, I think the segment kind of drug out a little bit with all those people coming in and out. But I guess it was for the build. But as long as it didn't drag out like forever, so it wasn't so bad. It was cool to see that they did at least get some kind of, they put forth the effort to make the X Division about something. I think it was cool. I think it was real cool.
See, with me, it made me want to headbutt a wall. It was, from my point of view, they've built this rivalry with Andrew Everett, Trevor Lee. They've built it up for them two having a match. All week it was teased, them two having a match. Everybody wanted to see that match. And then suddenly that match is not happening now. They're throwing a load of other guys in it. I'm like, why? I would have been I would have been quite happy just having them two in the main event.
They did. Mm-hmm.
It annoyed me. It really annoyed me.
I totally understand. I totally understand why they annoyed you, because they did go completely away from the storyline. They tried to incorporate it with the whole thing, with all the things he went through with the ringer, St. Helens. I think the only way that they could recover that storyline now is to have Andrew Everett challenge low key for the title now. I think that's the only way that you could, save that. But yeah, you make a very, 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 very valid point, Ashley. They did scrap the whole storyline that fans were waiting to see, because I did want to see Andrew Everett versus Trevor Lee for the X Division Championship as well.
Because then that way, if they continued with that angle and hadn't had Everett win, the crowd would have popped. The crowd would have gone crazy for that. And then
you think
they could have done in the tapings where they do this 6-way thing. They should have let that match happen and had it over with before starting this other stuff. That's the way I think they should have done it. I think they really messed up here.
You think it should have been like a 6-way for the number one contender to whoever wins, Andrew Everett versus Trevor Lee?
Yeah, they could have done it. That would have been better. I think.
I get that. I agree. That would have been better.
I just don't understand booking. You've got a storyline and angle. You're going with it, and then you suddenly drop it last minute. That storyline was getting close to the peak point. It's ending. Let it end, and then start new after.
True,
I agree with you. I can't argue that. Cannot argue that at all, Ashley. 100%.
I was actually talking to my brother about it, and he was like so pissed off at Loki when he wanted to. He wanted Andrew Everett to win the match, because it didn't felt right.
Right. Well, we'll get into the match when that time comes, as I'm sure we all have a lot to say about it. Next, we had Anthony Mayweather, a.k.a. Crimson, had a video package about his upbringing and his personal life, and what made him sign up for the Army. That's what it was. It wasn't a long promo package, just talking about how he grew up without a mother and father. Got in trouble in high school. Was dropped out of college after 2 months because it was just like the 5th year of high school where he did nothing but party and get in trouble. He signed up for the Army, and boom, they say next week we get Veterans of War. Match 2, we get ODB versus Rosemary for the knockout title. This is average at best to me. This match was not a lot of offense from Rosemary. ODB looked pretty decent. This wasn't a spectacular match. I guess it maybe was filler for the rest of everything. Rosemary ends up winning with a red wedding. I love that move. She looks good doing the F5 / red wedding. I don't really have much to say about this match because it didn't wow me in any kind of way. All I can say is this: Rosemary is a great champion. She looks great as a champion. She's been dominant, and I hope she stays champion for a while. And she's the one that fights whoever she's going to fight to unify the GFW, win this title, and Impact Wrestling not necessarily. She's good. Now, I think she's great as the top woman of the knockout division. The only person I think should take that from her if they were to come in would be Cynthia Garrett. That's it.
Yeah. I think the match between her and Garrett was a lot more better than that one. But but yeah, I don't know. To me, it feels like the knockouts division doesn't get enough time as they used to.
I'm working on that. It's a lot better than what it was. They didn't really have a whole lot of talent. I did an article about Rachel Ellering where I stated, they had to do an overhaul of talent starting in late 2015. And they done a good job of doing it because you had people like Marty Bell, Rebel, and others that just was the Devil's Guy. People with really limited talent, low charisma, just weren't very. You had people in and out and just have it like that. So yeah, all this kind of stuff going on. So this is where it is now. Like great, incredible. But this match, yeah, it's just a average match. It's like they get more TV time now and making it more of a important. With the judgment much right now, I think the match could have been longer. It would have been nice just simply because we're on the road and the crowd. The crowd wasn't into the match. They were pretty quiet throughout. Even when ODP did the first day of the top turnbuckle when she's sitting on top of it and she's banging it 10 times, not a peep in the crowd. So they just wanted, and I can understand why.
Yeah, I just, yeah. It's hard to give an opinion on this match because we know what ODB is about. We know she's not the best wrestler. She's more sort of a bit of a comedy wrestler, especially
right, entertainer.
Yeah, entertainer. A bit like Grado. Grado isn't the best wrestler in the world, but his charisma and his personality is what makes him and why people like him. But yeah, I didn't think it was a great match. You could see they were trying to do the best they can for this match, but yeah, I think there's better people that Rosemary could have gone up against. I just didn't think it was all that great. And a point you picked on, female talents they could have signed from their last 80 pins, and they haven't, has annoyed me. I am so annoyed that they let Rachel Ellering slip through their fingers. But they've done this in the past. They've let good wrestlers slip through their fingers and who have ended up in the WWE and ended up becoming superstars. It's one thing TNA has always done, and it looks like they're still doing it now.
Mm.
It's more so WWE plucking them away, but they have with like Matt Sydal, let him get away to WWE, and there are a few others. So no doubt, it happens to all organizations. So I don't want to just sit one Impact and say they're notorious for it because we all know that Impact Wrestling is notorious for making WWE guys that didn't move right into superstars. So it goes both ways. So I try not to point the finger when it comes to that or try to criticize too much on that. That's just the way it is. Same Triple H. WCW had Triple H before WWE did. Look at Triple H now, and WWE was terrorizing. No one cares. And the first people that talked on him was Kevin Nash. Got the WWE, and now look at him. He's CEO. He got stake in the company and all that or whatnot. So, yeah, I'm upset about it too, no doubt. I think Rachel Ellering did fine and stuff. But I think, like I said, I think still they've made big strides in where they were. If they were great right now, if they're going to, they can do it now before the tournament. That intensity coming up. I think it's intensity there. It's where it goes. But right now, from what the roster I've seen, that was like 8 or 9 of the knockouts and everything before that was involved, like that's great. So no matter the ring, but I don't like Ava's story because she has talent. I do like Ava Jenkins. Yeah, but I don't like the relationship with Edward because she just kind of went through. But it still looking a lot better. All right, after this, you get Swallow. Why? No one knows. But the crowd liked it. They would start screaming Swallow, and of course, the announcer spoke on it. The Pope was live throughout this whole Impact broadcast. I like him throughout the broadcast. He sure knows how to sell wrestling. Mackenzie Mitchell was backstage to try to find out who the other three participants in this match were. Karen Jarrett and Bruce Pritchard came out of the office, and Bruce Pritchard was killed and blew aside, and another participant. Now, I think Bruce Pritchard was a little confused because when Mackenzie asked who the other two were, he said that not to worry about it, that they had a winning knockout, winning championship match to came to, which they just finished having. So, I don't know. I don't know if they did that. I don't know. It was live, so it wouldn't bad, miss with statement. Miss with Bruce Pritchard. So, and after that, Sienna approaches Karen Jarrett, asking, speaking about the GFW guys in a locker room, saying that got you guys, I'm about to and Sienna asked what the GFW Women's Champion is, but she hadn't seen her around. Karen Jarrett tells her that, she'll be here. And then when she gets here, that she better be ready. She tells Karen Jarrett. And Jarrett tells Sienna, our Sienna, that she better be ready. Whatever. Christina Von Eerie, I like her though. I gotta give her that. That's the GFW Women's Champion. Who doesn't know that. So we'll get that. I just need to know that.
Yeah. I watched her a lot in her Combat Zone Wrestling days and stuff like that. So I know what she's about.
Yeah, I know it's gonna be a good match. I like Christina Von Eerie. I do. Video package about Allie in the Allie storyline. What's up next after that? Going through the whole thing with Paul Van Ness, the wedding, the tag team match, KM coming in, and Congo Kong coming in as the enforcer. And all that was set up. And all that was set up. Another squash match with Congo Kong versus Chris Silvio. All right, I'm gonna say this. Even though it was a squash match, meant to make Congo Kong good and tower over, I am still impressed because Congo could do some stuff. Congo's a big man that can move. He can fly. He jumped like damn near the whole ring when he splashed on this poor Chris Silvio. Oh man, I was devastated. That's the pain that Chris Silvio had to have. I'll be going through him right now. When he ran into the turnbuckle and did that flip and squashed his head in between his whole ass and the turnbuckle, that made me cry. I liked it. It was meant for that, to make Congo look good. I don't know if Chris even got like a single slam or anything, but it looked really beastly. Quick squash match. The fans were like, "Oh!" throughout this whole match. The whole match with the fans going, "Ah! Ooh!"
Yeah.
They were loving.
I think I heard them chanting, "Kong's gonna kill you" or something.
Yeah, Kong's gonna kill you. Yeah, they was chanting, "Kong's gonna kill you." Yeah, and the fans are loving Congo Kong right now. So I'm definitely excited and hyped to see what he's gonna do. I was impressed. I like it because it kind of reminded me of Samoa Joe, but less in shape, not like Samoa Joe in shape, but or Umaga, something like that,
kind of like that combination of Umaga and Samoa Joe, almost.
Right, exactly, because he can do more than Umaga. Umaga can't do those flipping splashes and Umaga had a splash too off the rope, but he couldn't go the distance that Congo Kong can. Congo Kong, I mean, he flew. His big ass bastard flew. So I like this faction they got going with KM. Sienna, this crazy ass Laura Van Ness that still hasn't showered or taken off that dress, and Congo Kong. I'm liking this faction because you got 3 bad mofos and this crazy woman, and that's scary. You don't want to be around that. And then you got the Congo Kong running through folks like water. So it's like, I like it. I think it's nice.
They're actually they actually gave a name to it though online. They actually called online. They're calling it the faction is called Revenge of the Wife or something. Revenge of the ex-wife or something.
I thought they'd be doing who smells worse, Laura Van Ness or Kong?
Probably Laura by now. Got to be Laura smelling worse by now. And then all that liquor she drinking got to be coming out of pores and everything. But imagine that if they stay a faction, Congo Kong and KM as a tag team.
Yeah.
Tell me that won't be a big splash for the tag team division.
One thing that I am really impressed with, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, is Lauren Van Ness's acting skills playing that role. That character now. Yeah. She's doing it perfectly. And the way she's doing it, it's believable as well.
Oh, yeah. I totally agree, Ashley. She hasn't really wrestled much. She's just been an Impact and shown what she could do. And like I said before, I've seen her wrestle as Chelsea Green on the Impact. On independent circuit, just as well as on Explosion before she signed. And she's got some stuff. So I can't wait for them to let that be shown. But right now, I'm not even caring right now because, like you said, her acting skills and the things that she's doing storyline-wise, storyline based are great. So I'm fine with it. Right? Like right now, Sienna has to pretty much keep her. Direct her. She had to grab her and direct her to the right direction because she's just doing whatever. Just got the bottle in hand and stumbling everywhere and just it's a trip. It's funny to see and I like it. And apparently Abdom likes it. Jeff Jarrett likes it because they kept that storyline going where they mixed just about every other one when they took over.
Just every time I see her on like screen with that look in her face, it's just I can't help but to break down laughing.
I like it too. They're really using Laura Van Ness pretty well. I like that. WWE they didn't want her for some reason, and Impact is certainly making the best out of it right now. They're doing the best with it. I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Following that, James Storm had a backstage promo. This was a good promo. You know how James Storm gets when he gets fired up before a match. He goes to yelling, he gets that country draw. And the cowboy, it was really nice. It was heartfelt. It was very intense, and it made me want Cowboy to win, though I knew that wasn't going to happen. But it made me feel for the Cowboy. It made me like, you deserve to be champion for the second time, bro. You go in there and you whoop Lashley's ass. That's a really, really tough task for anybody. But hey, I think we do it. After that, we have Alberto El Patron CCC cuts a promo against from Mexico against whoever wins the Impact World Heavyweight Championship. He said, James Storm, if you win, we're gonna lock it up and we're gonna have a great match. But he wants Lashley to win because he wants to kick that tail. He wants to get that culo. So, he cuts a promo against Lashley, lets him know that you took something away from me. You took the Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight away from me, and you want to come back and get it. And he says that he will. He will Impact World. And that's the big CCC. Hero. That's Mackenzie Mitchell interviews Magnus backstage. There's a lot of interviewing and stuff going on when it comes to storyline, which I don't think is a bad idea because storylines and these storylines make sense, especially with the heavyweight division, with all the talent they got in there now, and so many people they claim to it. And that's what this next segment is about. Mackenzie Mitchell interviews Magnus, and Magnus comes. He has the world. Where he goes, he deserves that because he works and he claims that he came as a favor to a friend. That's what until to help on state claims that wrestling world. Man asked, what has he done since he's been in Impact Wrestling to win the Reserve Championship match? Mackenzie Mitchell piped in and said, last fight, what has he done? He had a match and he was unsuccessful, and he deserves a title shot. He's been champion. He said that Alberto El Patron is only getting the shot because of what he's done elsewhere in other countries. And he says that why he deserves Magnus deserves the title shot because he had that title on his shoulder to give shift what he calls the golden ticket. So he's got to go back to watch the match because he's going to be fighting for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
That's when we get. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's just to me, I don't know if it kind of demeans the Global Force title in a way or what, but or if they're just gonna have the Global Force title just kind of be like what the U.S. title was in WCW.
That's exactly the feeling I got, Ash. It's exactly the feeling I got. I got the feeling like, okay, so they're gonna make the GFW title option C was with the X Division title. It's going to be the title that says I'm pretty good. I'm not quite there, but I'm good enough to challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, that's what it seems like the route they're going.
Yeah, I get that. I totally get that too. Then that leads into the match with James Storm versus Lashley.
Can I quickly say something about these promos?
Okay, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
The thing that's funny to me, and I don't know if it's because I'm English and I'm not American, but James Storm says about his family but about being a proud dad and everything. But it seemed to me like he's an alcoholic dad. Do you know what I mean? Does he sit there with his kids or he sit on the sofa and just sit there, keep drinking his beer? Go, yeah, son, I'll teach you how to be a cowboy. It just...
That's an American thing. Yeah. That's definitely an American thing.
But
James Storm, you sure hit it on the head, Ash. If you was here, you definitely see that happens. That's what a lot of fathers do. They come home, they play with their kids while they got a beer in their hand. They're on their beer, getting buzzed up and twisted, Yeah, it's definitely an American thing. All right.
I thought I had to clear that up quickly, but also, I did like the way they've done this. The way where you see Magnus claiming that he's going to be number one contender, and then we also saw with Alberto El Patron as well. I quite like the way they're doing the main division now, and where we have got so many competitors that can go for that title, because we didn't have that in the old team.
Nope.
But that's one thing.
You're so right about that.
That's one thing I'm happy with, that there are so many contenders now, and we're not going to get like we was getting before, where it was repeat matches, like Eddie Edwards against Bobby Lashley again, Eddie Edwards against Bobby Lashley again. Now we've actually got other people there that we can have different matches and be built up in the right way.
Right. You're so right, because you're right. Like you said, Eddie Edwards versus Lashley, we got that too many times too quickly. They're supposed to spread that out, but they couldn't because you didn't have enough competition. A good heavyweight division is a heavyweight division, any division as a whole, but a good heavyweight division is the division that you see lots of people competing because there's parity. You want to see a lot of different people with skills, and that you can't claim you're the best in the world when you're fighting the same 3 or 4 people every fucking week. Excuse my language, but if you're wrestling the same people over again, no, you're just the best out of 5 people. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So more people come around, you can actually say, okay, I beat this person, that person, this person, that person. This person's like 7 foot tall and you got this style. This person's like 6 foot 2. This person's like this. You know, so you're somebody. Because guess what I did? I didn't just beat somebody else for and then beat Eli Drake 3 more times, you know? And then I had to go fight EC3 again. You don't have to worry about that because now you got Matt Morgan, Magnus, Chris Adonis, Lashley, you got to go to Alberto El Patron. I mean, and James Storm, and on and so on and so forth. So it's great. It'd have been wrong if Magnus had came and spec and made a statement to the championship because and Jeff Jarrett is the man in front of over there. So how could he not make a statement to the cream of the IW? So yes, totally agree, Ashley, and that did kicking ass. Looks good. I like where it's going in the mid, knowing that each and every person feels that they deserve. And that's how it's supposed to be. Every single talent in the division to feel like they deserve to be champion in Impact Wrestling Supreme. All right. And with this match, we got James Storms enters first and shares a beer with the Pope. This was cool. You know, like I said, Pope was very live and interacted with like all the wrestlers and the crowd and stuff like that. It was nice. Josh Matthews enters with Lashley, and the look on JB's face was of pure disgust. I was wondering what that was about too. I was like, okay, is he like Lashley's manager now? What's really going on? Is that what? Did you guys think that too when y'all saw that?
Yep.
Yep, hey, I know you did. I was like, what? Josh Matthews and Lashley? Which I thought would have been a good pairing. Not saying I wouldn't like it. I thought it would be a good pairing. And he starts going down through the announce table, Josh does. And Pope was like, he's coming to the announce table, and I don't know why. And Josh says that someone had to save the broadcast, save the show. So here he was. Now, as JB is entering, announcing the competitors for the match, Lashley's arrogance is on full display. I love Lashley's arrogance. It's just great. And when he was announced, he announced James Storm, and the crowd loves James Storm. They went nuts when they announced him. They started screaming, "Cowboy, Cowboy!" The fans love James Storm. And so when they announced Lashley second. And as he's announcing this, that the world heavyweight champion from Denver, Colorado, Lashley, walking on again, he turns around, puts it on top of the screen, stands man and fucking plant before you can hear it because he's been announced. I love his arrogance. I love it. A good heel champion that knows he's a bad man does stuff like that because he's a bad man. I love it. So we begin the chant, Josh, you suck. Josh, you suck. And not long after that, Josh is boring. So this match starts with that, and they kind of tangle a little bit. They lock up a little bit in the beginning, but then Lashley starts off with aggression. He's really aggressive in the beginning with the corner spear to James Storm, followed up with the suplex. He stayed on James Storm, stayed on top of him for a few minutes. It was pretty good for about like another minute and a half, and then James Storm gained momentum, and he clotheslined Lashley outside of the ring, boom, over the ring. James Storm follows him outside, and guess what happens? Mr. Trouble himself comes to the announce table. He wakes his way on down to the announce table. Josh tries to get Lashley to use the beer bottle on James Storm, right? He was being like cheerleader elite to He's screaming at the top of his lungs, use the bottle, Lashley, use the bottle. So Lashley looking at him, and tells Josh to sit down. So Josh sits down, back to the match. Lashley delivers the devastating suplex. Oh yeah, it goes on for a few minutes, and they're on the outside still. Bobby Lashley does the stalling suplex, holds him up for about a good 10 seconds. Boom, onto the steel step. That had hurt. Did that not have anybody else like in awe? It had me messed up. Like, ooh, I liked it. It was cool as shit. And after that, they went to commercial break. Throughout commercial break, Lashley had control of this match. When he came back from commercial break, he still had control of this match. For about another minute and a half, he had control of this match until James Storm countered Lashley coming off the ropes and took control with a clothesline, knocked him down. At this point of the match, you can see the fatigue coming in, wearing down on these guys because this has been a fast-paced match. Both these big guys have been going nonstop. I mean, like counter, move, they're up, move, they get outside the ring, James Storm follows, they're up, they're wrestling again. There were no dull moments in this match. None. There was never a moment where they stood around and tried to catch their breath, like a lot of matches do, a lot of heavyweight matches do, where they're laying on the ground and then they do a 10 count so people can catch their breath. And then you got people that's just want to sit there and talk to the fans and all that, and you got dull moment. Was none of that. None of it. This match was them getting to it the whole way through. So by this time, they've gotten fatigued. They've worn down a little bit. You can see they're getting a little bit sloppy. Some of the moves, they're not executing as well. And, like I said, but it was still a good match because, like I said, it was nonstop. It was just totally TNA if there was ever TNA in Impact Wrestling. They kept it going, and I really enjoyed it. The fans got really behind James Storm. The crowd was incredible throughout this match the whole time, especially for James Storm. I can't think of a time where they were quiet. I mean, this heavyweight championship match really had the fans like loving Impact Wrestling. It was really good to see it, really empowering. James Storm power bombed Lashley. It was a kind of a sloppy one. He didn't get him all the way up, but he didn't hurt him. He got him all the way on his back, so it was flush. It was pretty. It looked like it hurt. Lashley hit him with a Dominator. Boom. Good Dominator. And like Impact likes to do in heavyweight title matches, you had a ref. Last ref. James Storm hits him with the last call. He covers him. He gets a 3 count, but of course not from the ref because the ref is out. So James Storm goes outside to grab a beer bottle he was on Lashley. Gets in the ring. He crosses down, getting ready for Lashley to get up. And that's when EC3 enters the ring, turns around, grabs the beer bottle, and crashes against James with Storm's head. This has been a long match now. This match has probably been going on for 8 to 10 minutes. You know what I mean? And it's been good the whole match. And we get EC3 heel turn, crash his head. Smash James Storm over the head with the bottle. So James Storm is coming to him finally after EC3 got out the ring. The referee's coming to him just as well. As well, James Storm is on the round. Runs to the side ring rope. Lifts his spear. Boom. Throws him for a 3 count. 1, 2, 3. Lashley retains Impact Wrestling. Well, on the way out is EC3 stomp on the Impact Wrestling logo. Looks at the camera. Takes off. What do you guys think about this?
Well, I think the EC3 heel turn was a long time coming.
Yeah.
It fits. You got Karen Jarrett there, so you're gonna have to, and you got like Bruce Pritchard. Seems like they're gonna do like a thing where EC3 is the heel and the authority figures are the faces, type thing. That's what it seems like it's going. And it was a super good, it was a super stellar match. I thought a lot of back and forth action, a lot of good stuff. In that instant, it kind of felt like the heavyweight division was kind of returning to that feel that it used to have way back when.
Mm-hmm. Right. Where action was about good matches, and that's what it was more. It was his core was about matches and not so much about silly ass storylines and stuff that's drug out, because we've had some drawn out storylines in the heavyweight division. You know that.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I do think the EC3 heel turn is probably a good move. But what I'd like to see next is I'd love for Josh to be EC3's manager, but where Josh does what EC3 says. A bit like when we had Rockstar Spud, when he was the assistant for EC3, where he was bossed about, told what to do. I would love to see Josh playing that role, because Josh wants to be popular. Josh thinks he knows everything, and I think putting them two together could work, as long as Josh doesn't overtake EC3's promos.
No doubt. I'm loving what Josh is doing right now. He's playing this role really, really, really well. I kudos to him. I'll give him a hand clap of praise. I know a lot of people don't like him. They give him heat. because of his commentating, and it was not really up to the par of what many people felt, including me. I felt like he was more there to promote Impact Wrestling himself on TV as opposed to color commentate and call the matches, because he still really matches, and he's stopping JB from calling the matches, and as he hope to do the best that he can. But for what they got him doing right now as a heel and as a big head, and to get that heat, he does that well. So hopefully that won't last too much longer. They get him with DCP, like you said. I want the same thing. I even said that I predicted that to happen. So I don't want to be home. So hopefully that goes that route. I think it would be the best route. I hope there's a route that could be better. I mean, it just goes right. And I hope it does go just like Mr. Fury said, to where you got like your other people going to face. Yeah, this dude that's like maybe under the name or something like that, or the partner name, however they want to swing it, and they go head to head and they battle it out. I think it's really good. After that, Mackenzie Mitchell catches Dutch Mantel backstage, and he announces that Desmond Xavier will be fifth. And then we find out, who the last is. You guys, can you still hear me? You guys still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Yeah,
Okay,
I can still hear
cool.
you.
Okay. All right. And then after that, it goes to a video of Chris Adonis attacking Moose at a Border City Wrestling event after defending the Grand Championship. Adonis attacked him, and you put him in the Adonis lock until they put him out. He was out, that Border Cities in Canada, I believe it is, a Canadian promotion. Mm-hmm. Another partner of Impact Wrestling. We love all these partnerships. These are one of the smaller ones that a lot of people don't know about. There are lots of smaller partnerships that Impact Wrestling has. I think it's like 17 to be in all. When we include the smaller and the larger ones, I've read it. If I can find it, I'll post it on the website, just as well as Impact Fan Nation and on Twitter and Facebook. But it cuts to Mackenzie Mitchell and Moose backstage after they show this video. And Moose is livid. He said ever since he got the championship, he's had all kinds of enemies and people coming at him. And Chris Adonis is one of them. And he challenges Chris Adonis next week to a Grand Championship match. Chris Adonis comes through with a cast on his right arm, a whole sling, not a cast, but a sling. And he's claiming that he's like, yeah, you talk about how I assaulted you after the match, but you don't talk about how you assaulted me after that. And he says that Moose savagely assaulted him and he injured him, hurting his arm, and that he's not going to be fit to wrestle next week. But he knows somebody that will be, and he'll be competing against. And that's when Davey Richards attacks Moose from behind, knocks him to the ground and puts him in the chokehold. Angelina Love was down on the ground or laying down on his stomach. It says, oh, so you made a lot of enemies, Moose. Well, you just made another one. And Dave Richards says, me. And he slams his head into the ground. And they go about their business. So it's going to be Moose versus David Richards for the Grand Championship next week.
I was going to say, the problem I had with this is Chris Adonis was playing the good guy when he helped Team Jeremy Borash. So he was playing the good guy. And suddenly, all of a sudden, split second, he's flipped. He's playing a heel.
Yeah, I don't think he. Go ahead.
I just don't. I just don't understand how they can flip someone that quick.
I don't think they really had established if he was face or heel, because you got to remember when that match was made, JB versus Josh, it wasn't a heel versus face thing. It was just the people that they chose to be on their team. Chris Adonis didn't do anything that was heel or face, nor did Morgan or anybody else. It was just assumed that it was face versus heel because Josh is the heel, JB is the face. So I didn't want to go too far with that because I knew that could go any kind of way. Because of course you would think it would be like that, and it will confuse a lot of people. But I know Chris Adonis, he's been a heel most of his career, so it doesn't surprise me. But like I said, I knew not to let that match be an indicator of if you'd be heel or face, because it was basically just them choosing the wrestlers they thought would be able to win the match, not bad.
Yeah, true. I thought of it that way too. It did kind of confuse me. When I was like watching it, I wasn't unsure. But then the more I thought about it, I think they were just like just choosing who on their team and stuff like that. I don't think it was anything like face or heel or anything like that.
But we'll see where it goes. I mean, obviously, it seems like Chris Adonis is a heel. I think he should be a heel. It's just hard to see Chris Mordetsky / Masters / Adonis as a face. I don't think I've ever seen him as a face. Even when he was Masters back in WWE, I loved him then. I still like him now. I hope that he does well in that. And then we get into our X Division title match, the main event of the evening.
Can I say one thing before we go into the main event? Is I'm guessing Cody Rhodes is not going to be with Impact anymore.
I'm guessing the same thing.
Because to me, especially with the way they've done the matches with Cody and Moose, I was expecting there to be one more match between the two. And for the way they've ended it, and now Chris is come in to take on Moose, it's a bit. I'll be honest, I'm a bit gutted because I would have loved to see Cody have one more match with Moose. I think the way it was left was okay, but I think they could have done a lot better there. I think a lot of guys they need to start doing is locking them down on contracts, because at the minute they're taking risks by not having everyone on contracts at the minute.
Right. I don't know why Cody. I feel the same way. I don't think Cody's going to sign either, because he already said he's about to make the decision about where his wrestling home is going to be. And I think he probably would have worked in tapings if Impact Wrestling would have been his destination. Especially with GFW merging now, I totally would have thought, Cody Rhodes would definitely would have been, on. So, I don't know what his decision-making process was. I think he likes what's going on in Ring of Honor. I think he really likes what they're doing. I think he likes wrestling in New Japan as well. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I like what he's doing in Ring of Honor in New Japan. I mean, even 100%, I even like him more so than what he's been doing in Impact Wrestling. It's been good stuff. I like him in Bullet Club like that. I just wish it could have been something to where he could wrestle in all three and have Bullet Club, in each place. We still haven't heard anything. Nothing's been confirmed, but it looks the way you think, Ashley. I don't think he's going to sign with Impact either.
No. I think the big appeal with Ring of Honor, and I think the only big appeal is the New Japan links. I think that's the only reason people want to go there. I know Impact's got Noah, but Noah's not as big as New Japan.
Number two.
I do think Impact needs to be a bit more shrewd when it comes to business. I think I like they do partnerships, but I think they need to start taking some competitions down. I think they should be trying to steal the link up with New Japan off Ring of Honor and raid Ring of Honor. There is some territories I think they do need to raid to bring in the bigger talent. I think that's one thing Impact does need to start doing.
I think they've been doing a pretty good job of doing that, because they are getting big independent names. It's been said that Jax Dane signed. I know what they're doing with him, but I'm not going to spoil it. But Jax Dane was former NWA World Heavyweight Champion. After they left, after their partnership with Impact Wrestling was over with. He was like former champion, Batman. They signed Garza Jr. in Laredo. They signed Desmond Xavier. He's a big man in CZW, former tag team champion of us in the Indies and stuff. The athletic genius, just good. There's other names. Reno Scum. They've been bringing. Reno Scum big in the Indies. They're bringing in top indie talent. They're not bringing mediocre indie talent. They're bringing in top indie. It's like these people that they're bringing in. When they announce these people, you can hear people in the crowd screaming, because there are people that know who these people are. When Sienna, when she first came, when she came as Allison Kay, people were screaming, Alice, son. Alice on the knockouts, knockouts, knockdowns, because people knew who she was already. Same thing with Cherry Bomb, aka Allie. Impact are bringing in top indie stars. They may not be bringing in all of these global stars that are well known, which they did a good job with Alberto El Patron. But when it comes to going out these indie darlings, they're doing a good job of doing it thus far. And and I think with these relationships, if they could bring in people from the underground, I'm fine with them not having the Air Ray likenesses. Who cares? We don't need Johnny Mundo when we can have Johnny Morrison. Fucking cares. So what? We don't need. I mean, even though I don't think Ricochet is going to come over because of what he said about he can't. He's mad because he can't be in Nirvana. But in the instance, if he used to use Ricochet, you don't have to. If Brian Cage, if that's his real name, he can use it anyway. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. Okay, instead of and then in Lucha Underground, they just call him the Machine Cage. So you can call him Brian Cage in Impact Wrestling. You know what I mean? It's not that big of a deal to me. You can give them their own personas or let them go by the real names, whatever. If people still going to do who the hell they are, they're still going to have the same kudos. So you can keep your damn gimmicks. You can keep your likenesses. You can keep your masks, whatever. Keep them. But guess what? If they bring these stars in Impact Wrestling, they'll be good.
That's true, but I do feel like they need some of the bigger names to bring the more of the casual fans in. I know a lot of people keep saying about CM Punk, but you've got to be realistic here. CM Punk ain't going to come to Impact Wrestling. It's not going to happen. But I do think Impact needs some big established stars to bring those casual fans in, so then the casuals can see all these new independent stars to bring up their figures.
I agree. You just got to be careful about who you bring in, because you don't want to bring in people that you think is going to bring in viewers and casual fans, because you're going to normally have to pay these people big money or pretty substantial money because they're already established. And then you bring in somebody and you pay big money, then they don't get the draw you want, and then you're in you're in a bad position. You know what I mean? It happened with I mean, they didn't put themselves in a bad position, but Aaron Rex is an example. Prada Man thought it would be a big draw because he was really, really, really popular when he left WWE, got to Impact Wrestling, and it was just another person. No one really cared about Aaron Rex. He changed his gimmick in the first month he was or the second month he was in the company, because what he was doing wasn't working. And then when Jeff Jarrett and Anthem took over, they was like, nah, we're good without you. So, like right now, the only big names that you can sign are Jack Swagger. I don't want to say Wade Barrett because he's been off the scene for so long when nobody's really going to care.
That's true.
So, Jack Swagger, and I don't think he's just that big of a draw anyway, because he wasn't popular when he left WWE. So it's like, when you think about the only top draws right now that you could possibly get are in Lucha Underground, which you have a relationship with, Rey Mysterio. Cage, I guess, because they are on national TV, so people can watch them if they want to, if they choose to watch Lucha Underground. So people do have some recognition for people like Johnny Mundo, Cage.
Yeah, not to mention on Netflix.
Yeah, exactly. It's on Netflix, so that's even more exposure. So right now, your biggest names are with the companies that they have a relationship with. Because other than that, there's no one available. They're all signed.
Yeah, I get the point.
Yeah, so...
It's just they need to find a way to expand more with the fan base. Because if you look over from the last set of tapings to this set of tapings, it's gone up, but it's not gone up a lot.
Right. Time.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not the product itself. I just don't think they're getting out there enough. I think that's one of the main problems. And I think another problem is not doing live events at the moment. I think they need to get live events rolling. So then, it
brings awareness. Yeah, no doubt. It's like you're totally correct, because Impact Wrestling is not advertised outside of Pop TV. You do not see Impact Wrestling advertisements anywhere at all. Not on the radio, not on outside of Pop TV, not on social media, unless we advertise it or Impact does on Twitter. I mean, that's about the only place they get it on social media. But outside of that, nothing. Social media is it. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, stuff like that, websites. Outside of that, nothing. And like you said, touring. If you tour somewhere, it gets advertised. There's a show. You come see it. People have awareness. Now you got awareness, and people actually tune in to watch the show because they came and to your house show, and it blew. You blew the top off the house, and it was really good. Oh, okay, they got a show every Thursday on Pop. Let me find out where Pop is, and if they liked it enough, maybe they'll get the Pop TV channel if they don't already have it, and they'll start watching Impact Wrestling. I totally agree with you on that. If you're not going to tour, it's hard to get awareness of your product. It's really, really hard. But they announced on Thursday that this summer they will be touring. So they said just, they will keep us updated on where the tours will be and stuff like that. I, for one, know that they'll be touring India in May. I know that. So, and I think, you know that too. Yeah. So I know that's already in the works. I don't know if they mean, I know they're supposed to be doing house shows in America for what Jeff Jarrett said. He wants to do house shows in America and stuff. I don't know if they're going to be doing any like Impact tapings anywhere outside of the Impact Zone of Orlando, Florida, except for I know in India they're going to be taping Impact episodes. But in America, he hadn't said that they were going to be doing any Impact taping. But it's still just to get house shows and awareness. It's a damn good thing.
Yeah, because even Taz has even said on his show that even when he was there, the problem was brand awareness, and I think it's still the same problem now. That a lot of
right when he said that.
When he said it, I believed him. I believed when he was saying that they didn't advertise the brand outside of other networks, and I totally agree with him. And they're still now they're not doing it. They're with a big organisation with Anthem who have got the money to pay for advertising. Yes, I know they're still building the product up, but they need to sort of use other networks and get adverts out there. You look at other networks, you see WWE ads. You should be seeing Impact as well. And I think that's the only way they can get their figures up.
Totally agree. I agree with you. They're messing up bad when they don't advertise outside of that network. Because when you think about it, the only people that are seeing those advertisements that are wrestling fans are the people that are already watching. So you're not advertising to anyone new. You're just showing people that know what's already coming on, that's going to watch anyway, and let them know what's coming on the channel. So if people that don't watch Pop TV and don't watch wrestling would never know about it if they're not told by somebody else or something like that. All right. And we jump into the main event of the evening, the six-way exhibition title match. All right, one participant is still unknown, and the other 5 participants are Trevor Lee and Everett. Desmond Xavier, Suicide. Suicide and what's the fifth one, guys? Suicide, Trevor Lee, Sanjay Dutt, excuse me. It's Sanjay Dutt. So they all are introduced. They all enter the ring, and the 6th person is introduced. The last person revealed to be low key. Because they that it was a person that you never expected to return to Impact Wrestling. So in many years, but it's a person that has returned to Impact Wrestling quite a few times already. So, he totally lied. To me, that was just a lie and slap in my face because I could have guessed low key if he wouldn't have said some shit like, or, if he wouldn't have said something I wouldn't expect to come back in a year. That's why people would get to talk and saying stuff like CM Punk because no one would expect CM Punk to come back from Impact Wrestling in a year. We all would think low key. So that disappointed me in that aspect. But after the match, I liked it. It was good. It was a really good match. The best multi-man X Division match I've seen in a long time. The best X Division match I've seen was Andrew Everett versus Trevor Lee. Yeah. But this was the best not ever, but I've seen it in a long time with that. But this was the best multi-man match I've seen. Most of them would just be boring. It was just a lot of attempts to make the hours with pointless spots. But this right here, all the spots look good. All the spots look like they fit in. They didn't just do it. It was good. Like everybody was all over. Desmond Xavier looked really good in his debut. They had a time when Andrew Everett and Trevor Lee went on one for a good little minute in the middle in the ring while everybody was on the outside. Trevor Lee kept on the outside, so that was cool, to keep that storyline element going. Everybody looked good in this match. There wasn't a person that didn't impress. They all got off really good, got good moves. They all sold well. They all nobody botched. I can't think of any botches. And of course, with all this spotting going on, he would think botches. So for everybody that likes Spot Fest and intense action and stuff like this, yeah, you'd have been wowed by this. This was good. I liked it. There was a double Franken driver. When I say double, I mean back-to-back Franken driver, where Andrew Everett put Desmond Xavier in a Franken driver and he rolled after he hit his head. It was cool as hell. He did another Franken driver right behind that to Trevor Lee when he planted him real nasty. The screen went into a "This is awesome" chant. The crowd was live throughout this whole match. This X Division had them on their feet. They was like with all the pins. 1, 2. Oh, I'm looking at the crowd. Folks got their hands to their head. I mean, just get waved. I mean, I was like this at the house, like, oh my goodness, you know what I mean? Oh man, it was good, man. It deserved the "This is awesome" chant, and it was a legit one, not one that was forced by people. It was a legit "This is awesome" chant because people loved what they were seeing, and it was really good to see like a resurrection match of the X Division. I liked it. Low key ended up with the win with the double stop. We got the low key. He won on day one, but you really can't call it day one because he's been in and out. There's nothing new to anybody that's been watching Impact Wrestling and wrestling as a whole. So I can say that if he can rightfully take the championship based on the action and stuff like that was going on. When it comes to storyline, no, he shouldn't have won. Storyline, no, it should have been Trevor. Unless, like I said earlier, they do something like where Andrew Everett, where Andrew Everett gets a title shot against Loki. But as for the match and the way to end the show, wonderful. It was great. X Division needed it. Impact needed it. The X Division stars needed it. It was wonderful. I don't have any complaints about that. I really don't. So, because we had me interested the whole time. Maybe got slowed down a little bit with the Everett and Trevor Lee one-on-one action, but it was still decent to look at. It didn't make me bored. I was still on my feet the whole time watching it. You know what I mean? I was still eyes glued. After the match, Josh was talking crap to JB, and the Pope was like, go to hell, Josh. You got to like, go to hell. What do you mean go to hell? Like, yeah, go to hell. He's like, oh, you got a problem? What? You gonna hit me? You don't got the ball to hit me. You know what I mean? And so JB went hit him, straight back and knocked him in the face. But not he had Josh on his face without the gate. Just all like, wow, he really hit me. And that's showing off with that. He held his title in his hand. Black.
Yeah. For me, the match was brilliant. It's probably one of the best X Division matches we've seen for a while. For me, the letdown was the outcome.
Yeah.
I still can't work out why they put it on low key so quickly. I'd have rather ended the match with Trevor Lee winning it, where he gets the steal, with Shane Helms interfering at last minute. Because then at least that way we could have still had the Trevor Lee and Everett match for the title. Because even if we get the Everett and Trevor Lee match later on, it still won't be as exciting because I was looking forward to that for being the title, the way they've built it.
Right.
But
right.
I will give it, the match itself was a brilliant match. Suicide looked a lot better. I've been critical on Suicide, on the person playing him, but we started to see the old style where he was grab the ropes, holding the ropes, the flips. It seems like that person was getting more confident playing that character. Xavier interested me. I was really impressed. And if you actually look at this match carefully, it is a mix of current, new, and old. That's what I felt when I actually when you look at these as individuals. And I like what I saw. Because I said to you on the last show, I said to you, the X Division needs work. And I've said it every single show. And finally, they're putting work on the X Division. I still believe Impact is in a period of work in progress. I think there's a lot more that needs to be done, and I think we're going to get there. You know, it's going to be a long ride. We're probably going to see more guys leaving. You know, the one that's gutted me is Crazy Steve. And with him leaving before they recorded the last set of tapings, makes me worry because I love Decay. I love Decay because they're different.
Yes, you do. You express that very much. So and I hate that this is happening to them. I really, really, really do. They and the Hardys held the the tag team division up by themselves for so long. Yeah. It's just hard. It sucks to see him go.
Yeah, it really. I don't know. I still can't work out why they let him go. From reports, it seems like he's had a falling out with Jeff Jarrett. I think that's probably one of the parts. Because Decay was over big time. The fans were loving Decay. You know, the matches they had with the Hardys were amazing. It just makes me worry. With Crazy Steve gone, is Rosemary going to go out on her own?
That's exactly what it worries me the most about is Rosemary. Exactly what I think about most when it comes to that, actually.
Because them three worked well together. And also it made Abyss important.
Right.
You know,
we all know that Abyss can be put on the back burner. We all know that well.
And it was
we'll just have to see, I guess.
I'm just fingers crossed, hope it doesn't backfire. It's like, I know Jeff Jarrett's meant to be good for Impact Wrestling, but in some ways, with some of the stuff going on, it's making me he's also bad as well. It seems like a lot of the stars we have doesn't want to be around with him there, and I don't get why.
You got to accept the good with the bad, because there's going to be bad with the good with no matter who is in charge. You know, even when Impact had its greatest viewerships on the inside, things were getting really mixed up with Hogan and them.
Yeah.
There are going to be some things. People are going to leave. Anytime you change management, people are going to leave because it's not going to be. Everybody's not going to fit the vision. Everybody's not going to like the changes they make. Everybody's not going, because remember there was also a pay structure change too. Not everybody was going to like that pay structure change. Not everybody was going to like how to do contracts, because now Impact's not allowing people to run off in the indie promotions, and they're not doing per deal contracts no more. They want everybody signed up that's going to be in the company, so they don't continue to take that risk, so that if they do independent bookings, they get their percentage of it too, and they can deny and have pretty much have control of it. Because you are a wrestling company, and as your management, you do need to have a certain amount of control when it comes to your talent. You do. You can't let them run around freelance and do whatever. That's how Drew Galloway got injured when he's supposed to win the Grand Championship in the first place. Stuff like that. So you got to regulate things to a certain level. And some people are, you got to understand, like Dixie Carter there was a lot of loose stuff going on, do what you want to do type action. And some people may not like the structure that's come in now. And some people may not like the GFW guys coming in. There could be a whole lot of reasons why Crazy Steve left. It could be a move that WWE tried to come in and snatch him up for the Cruiserweight division. It could be that. Who knows? But I don't want to blame Impact right off the top when it comes to people leaving, because so many of us do that. And we did that when it comes to the Hardys, when it comes to Jade, and when it came to the Bennetts and all that. We all thought, I mean, and Drew Galloway and them too. We all said, a lot of people, not me, but a lot of people were like, how could you let them get away? Impact Wrestling's dumb. You let them get away. They took too long on the contract, boom, boom, boom. And then it all comes out that all these fuckers were lying and they just was going to WWE.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't Impact at all. They'd all decided that they were not coming back and they just wanted to go to WWE. And so you can't make that judgment off the top because you don't know what the situation is. So I'm not going to sit there. I'm not going to make it seem as if Impact is doing something wrong, when it could just be simply that these talents just want to try something different for whatever reason.
That's a fair point. That is a fair point. But, to me, it's like, with Decay being so different and so popular, you feel
like Impact should have did whatever they could to keep the Crazy Steve, huh?
Yeah.
I agree with you on that. There you can sway certain people. There are people that they may not want to do something, and then you make it too good for them to pass it up. And I think with the state of the tag team division and them developing and growing, and Decay being the most over tag team that's already there, you're supposed to do what you had to do to keep Steve on a leash. No doubt. I agree with you on that.
Because they were different. That was the main thing about Decay. They were a different tag team. They added that little bit extra impact. It's a team we haven't really seen in a while. Yes, we've had New Church in the past, but they've never matched up to the way what they've done with Decay.
Right, exactly. They were never as intriguing. Right, no doubt.
Yeah. This is why for a long time, and I've said this before, that if they added Father Mitchell to Decay, it would have been even more amazing. But
oh yeah, no doubt.
I think letting Crazy Steve go is probably one of their worst decisions. The thing is, are they going to continue with Rosemary and Abyss on their own? Are they going to replace Crazy Steve, or are we going to just see Rosemary go alone with the Decay thing?
Yeah, I know it, man. I really, really, really hope they could just find someone that they could fit into the group. I know it'll be different, and I know it's going to take time to grow on people, but they don't need to abandon this. Not with the tag team division that's getting better like that. I don't think they need to just get rid of Decay. I think that would be a really bad idea. I think they need to go on some kind of recruiting mission, or just have somebody. Jimmy Rave, go sign Jimmy Rave, put him in the cave.
Yeah.
I think Jimmy Rave would be great for him. You know what I mean? He fits the eccentric character type thing. I mean, there are Sammy Callahan. Sammy Callahan would be great in Decay. He's Lucha Underground, so he can be there.
Yes.
Have him as a different. And he doesn't even go by Sammy Callahan in Lucha Underground. He goes by I can't remember, but he's good. But he only was on there for a few months on season 3, and then that has been halted thus far. We still haven't seen him on Lucha Underground. But yeah, he can be in Impact Wrestling because he's over there with Lucha. Sammy Callahan would definitely fit in Decay. There are some wrestlers that would fit. So I think they should just definitely supplement him, put somebody in his role, and go from there. Don't try to put like a new Crazy Steve, but a whole new different character. You make up some kind of origin with Rosemary, throw him in there, then you get yourself a new Decay that could possibly be better, because I think if you put Sammy Callahan in there, it could be better than what Crazy Steve offered. Jimmy Rave, I don't know so much. We just have to see. But since being that he has experience and he's already a creepy looking weirdo type character, I think it would fit pretty well. So like, you can definitely go different ways with different people, find the right person, and you keep Decay going. I want that to happen. I pray it will happen.
Well, I hope it will happen, because they would be silly to lose the Decay stable. From images I've seen, it could possibly end that way, or I could be completely wrong, because I've only seen images. I don't know what the hell. I haven't seen any storyline or heard anything else, and I don't want to hear anything else.
I know, man. I know what you mean. You told me after you told me before the show, and I was like, "Oh man, really?" So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah, but it all depends how they use it. You know, I'm nervous because I do not know what they're doing, what they're going. I'm surprised with this show that they're continuing the JB and Josh angle.
Yeah, that you off too.
I would have been quite happy for them to do, and I've said this before, do lockdown, have Team JB, Team Josh, go at a lockdown, and have the stipulation is whoever leaves the commentary and cannot return. Doesn't leave for a week,
Right.
leaves for good.
Right. I think it was pretty smart though. I got a laugh out of Josh saying that. Oh yeah, I said I was gonna leave. I did leave. Now I'm back. I got a laugh out of that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, because if you think about it, the way they did it, there was no official word from anybody.
Exactly. It was just Josh saying he'll leave, and that's why I think it was smart and clever because you can definitely go that route and keep it going. I thought it would have been cool to end it now, but being that it would kept going that way, and I got a laugh out of it. I can see it. I just hope they end it soon. It doesn't need to keep going on because it's taken away from the commentary.
Oh yeah, definitely. One thing we can talk about is the rumor going around of in talks with a new ring announcer that used to be with.
I already saw. It's official. He's back as ring announcer.
Oh, he's been signed then. Thank
Yeah,
God.
David Penzer.
Thank God, because I'm sorry, I like Rockstar as a wrestler, but damn, I hate him as an in-ring announcer.
Yeah, he was not good as a ring announcer at all. Nope.
Yeah, he sounds like he's lacking. He's you've got to give him his due though. He is trying his best with that role.
Well, it's over with now, so
Hopefully.
you don't have to try anymore.
Well, you know what they're like. that anything can happen.
Right. Well, David Penzer, yeah, he signed to announce again. So for right now, it's him. No more Spud. But remember what I told you. He had already said it was temporary. Spud already said it was a temporary thing that Karen Jarrett has. That she, at the time, it was she let him know it was temporary. That she had something else in store for him. So I knew he wasn't going to be there for long. I guess they just had to figure out who the new commentator was going to be.
Yeah. But then, with that being happening, what are they going to do with Rockstar Spud?
I hope they just put him back as a wrestler. Put him back in the X Division. Why not?
Yeah, I can hope they'd do that, but they haven't done that in the past. They've moved Spud around so much and put him in so many different roles. It's come to a bit of a running joke.
Yeah, they don't know what to do with Spud. I totally feel like he is the running joke of Impact Wrestling because they keep throwing him in different things. Because it seems, I think he was fine when he was in the X Division, winning titles at the face Spud. I think that was cool. But at the time, the X Division was lacking really, 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 really bad. So I know why they did it. I don't think Spud will ever be X Division champion again with the roster that the X Division roster now. I can never see him having that strap again. So, yeah, but still put him in there to get some exciting matches and stuff. I totally feel the same way. Stop just throwing him around in all these different stupid ass gimmicks without explanation. The only one that I liked was Miss EC3's flunky because he was just rough and rugged, and I thought it was kind of funny, but it was still stupid too though because he did a lot of stupid shit. It's a lot of gimmicky. So but yeah, just let him be a real. Because he's small, they keep making him a joke character of some sort. They keep making him some kind of flunky, keep making him a joke, someone to laugh at, stuff like that. Give him a chance as a serious wrestler. Give him a serious run and see what happens.
Yeah, because we've seen it in British Boot Camp, especially when he against Marty Scurll. His matches he had with Martin Scurll, he was outstanding. And I've seen a lot of his works on the independents, and even back into early days of UK independence, when we had the, I think it was the SWC that Alex Shane used to run. I've seen Spud. I've seen his career for absolute donkey's years, and I know he can perform to that top level if he's allowed to.
Right.
When I've seen him in the Impact ring, it seems like they're limiting his moveset, and I just can't understand why.
They don't want to push Spud as a serious wrestler. It's obvious. I mean, they just want to have him as a mid-card, funny type, entertainer kind of guy. And that's why they keep throwing him in all these different gimmicks. It's been kind of the same thing with Abyss, but not as many gimmicks because, they keep going back and forth with Abyss, too, between James Park and then the Abyss that came out the Asylum, and then the Abyss that, with Father James Mitchell, and then the Decay Abyss, so then, now that he's not, Decay is probably, if Decay is disbanded or whatever, he'll be a new kind of Abyss. So I think they need to stop this whole gimmick roulette with Spud. Give him a shot. Like you said, he definitely can go and let it be shown. He's a two-time X Division champion for a reason. I mean, regardless of it was weak at the time, he still felt like he had enough to make it. Gave him a nod, so see what happened. Give him another chance.
I definitely agree with that. I think there's a lot they could do with Spud, but then I also believe there's a lot of wrestlers that I think is underutilized. Another example I will give is Bram. Before Bram joined the DCC, when he left Magnus and he went on the Rampage, he was hot. Even Stone Cold Steve Austin was commenting on Bram.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly they put him with the DCC and he sort of flies under the radar again.
Right, they do nothing, absolutely nothing with him with the DCC. And I was upset about that too because I really like Bram. Bram should be a top guy. Bram should be competing for the championship. Bram should have this intensity about him that he had when he came in. DCC, if they were going to put him in that, they should have had all three of them as just super badass bastards, where they wouldn't be supposed to broke up and they were supposed to make them look good. But right now, Bram is in Japan with Robbie E. That's the new Broman. They won yesterday. They won in their first match. They have a new look like biker gang kind of. They're like leather clad, no shirts, leather jackets, wild hair, a serious look, not a gimmicky, funny bromance, none of that. It's a whole new look. So hopefully they bring that back and it's impressive. It's good. I think it looks good. Those two, because they're both big, beefy guys. They're both, they both can move. They both can wrestle. They got like a similar type style. Of course, Bram being really intense and aggressive, more so than Robbie E. And I think it could work in the Impact Zone just as well. Right, like I said, it looks good. Hopefully they do great in Noah. Best of luck to those guys. I told Bram that on Twitter, and he thanked me, which was pretty cool. And I just hope they bring it back and let Bram be put to good use. Because, if that's why I like these relationships, because even though Bram may not be used very well right here on TV and Impact Wrestling, he can still go somewhere else and look damn good, and somebody else. So, benefit of have a relationship.
See, where I kind of think I don't really like the bromance feel. I don't feel like it's right for Bram.
I don't like the name. I think if they didn't have the name Bromance, I think you would probably feel better about it. I don't think they should keep the name Bromance.
No, I think I still feel the same. It's the whole look of Bram and everything else. I want to see Bram as the Chesterfield play, the hardcore guy that doesn't care about the carnage he causes. I want to see that Bram back. And I've said this for a long time. I think Impact can do a hardcore division, and I think it would probably be good business to do a hardcore division, because it's one thing that we're not getting in mainstream wrestling, and it would bring more fans in as well.
Yeah, your hardcore fans, your CZW fans and stuff like that, they like to see that hardcore crazy.
Yeah, that's true. That's so true. I remember somebody online was actually mentioning that not too long ago. I think his name was like Anthony, but he was mentioning something about like how Impact needs to do something that is, that WWE is not doing, that Ring of Honor is not doing, that all these companies are not doing, and that something is a hardcore division.
They are just with the Grand Championship. It's just not, it just hasn't really, it hasn't elevated. It's not big. They're trying with that, but I don't think that's the way they should have tried. I think, like y'all said, a hardcore division would have been a better try at something different.
Yeah, because they've got guys on the roster that will have the hardcore matches, so there isn't a lack of not having people that will do it, We've seen Bram and Abyss go each other in hardcore matches, in Monster Balls, and they have been brilliant matches. I like it when Bram plays the mental game. And I think that's what they need to go back to with him. Because everybody was watching him then. Like I just said, Stone Cold was mentioning him. JR was mentioning him. I think that's what they need to go back to. I think putting him with Robbie E is probably going to backfire on him.
I don't know. But, it could just be a thing for the tournament. So we don't know yet. I mean, to me, it may just be that. I'm thinking that it may just be for the tournament. But we'll see.
Well, I hope so. I really hope so, because we don't need another bromance. Please to God. No. Jesse E and Robbie E was enough.
Right. Like I said, I don't think I have a problem with it in Impact Wrestling as long as they drop the Romance name and it has something that would fit their characters in that persona. If they were to come back as a bromance, I'd rather them just come back individual and not be a tag team.
But then, like I've said, we've seen Bram in tag team so many times. I think he deserves to have his solo run and go the hardcore route. I'm just that passionate that's the route they should go with Bram, and he's got that ability.
Yep, I agree. I mean, I hated that they turned away from that gimmick. I thought with the DCC, it fit for him because that is his style, to be a badass that doesn't care about nobody or anything. And DCC was supposed to bend that, and it didn't turn out to be that way. So, yeah, it would be good to see that again. But like I said, if they were to be a tag team, I wouldn't mind that either, just not at the bromance. But I totally get what you're saying, Ashley. And I understand it. I feel your sentiment because I feel like he should have kept that gimmick and never abandoned it anyway.
Yeah. It's a lot of the times it feels like they're doing silly booking. They need to look back at, with some of the guys, what made them good, when they were talked about a lot, and they need to look at that and think, right, okay, let's go back to that with that character. That's when that guy was hot. Let's make him hot again.
Right. Mr. Fury, anything to add to that?
Well, I had this. I think since LAX returned with new people and stuff like that, I was, for some reason, I had this in the back of my mind because Magnus was returning. I thought that they were gonna bring back British Invasion again, just with Magnus, Bram, and Spud. That's what I thought what was gonna happen, because it seemed like it was going down that road, because they did it with LAX, and I thought they were gonna do it with British Invasion and Magnus and stuff. That's what it seemed like.
Yeah, because they did back in time. There was Bram and Magnus as a tag team, and then Bram turned on Magnus, and then we saw the whole thing with Mickey James being thrown and the whole stupid crap it went with that. But we have seen Bram and Magnus before as a team, and they actually do work as a team. So there is a possibility they could go that route.
Right. I'm just, being that I'm a big tag team wrestling fan, I'm always down for a new tag team as long as it's done in good taste and they're actually about something.
I think it could kind of work with Magnus kind of being like the business guy, Bram being the scary type of badass type guy, and Spud being like an Eric Young. Eric Young was in Team Canada, sort of a goofy type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my initial thinking on that. If it does happen, though.
Yeah, I can see that working. It's also what other factions do you have to go up against LAX? That's another issue. There is nobody they have built to go up against LAX next.
Well, like I said, they're building to get more and more tag teams. They got some. I mean, they haven't shown Bala Baraka again, so maybe they haven't or whatever. But it's just right now, it's just simply a waiting game.
But is there really many faces in Impact at the minute? Because even some of the faces have been doing heel kind of manoeuvres. James Storm was built up to be the good guy, but you don't see a good guy bring a beer bottle in the ring.
Oh yeah, Impact Wrestling is heel driven like a mug. I mean, most everybody in Impact Wrestling is heel. And like you said, they do heel things. Even Ali is helping Braxton Sutter in his matches. So it's definitely a heel-driven company for some reason.
Yeah, that's another thing that bothers me though. I like my heels to be the badass heels, but I want my faces to be the good guy faces. I don't like it when they blur the lines.
Yeah, you don't like tweeners.
No. Never been a big fan of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it seems like what they're doing with faces, it seems like they're having them have like their own type of alliances, like they're like, biased towards, their own biases and stuff like that. It's like they're trying to make them more human in that way.
Right. Well, guys, this was definitely a really good discussion. I enjoyed it. This was as good. For final grade for Impact this week, I would have to say between a B- and a B, because simply I won't give it an A because the Rev Bump. I'm not a fan of Rev Bump, but that's part of it. I think EC3's heel turn was cool. Like I said, good time coming. They had good matches. Even the squash matches were good. The ODB match, Rosemary, was one of the reasons it wouldn't get an A because it was kind of lackluster to me. Exhibition match, the main event was great. I'll give it a solid B. I won't give it a B-, a B or a B+, because like I said, there weren't very many hiccups. The whole Chris Adonis, the whole Cody thing, not seeing Cody, that kind of sucked. What else? Let me think. Oh yeah, and them going the whole just away from the storyline in the exhibition situation, which just didn't make sense. Maybe they do something about it later on, but yeah, I give it a solid B+, and another good show.
See, I'm going to go completely the other way. I'm going to have to go D+, or even a D. I felt there was too many squash matches. There was a bit of inconsistency with storylines. For a live episode, to me, it wasn't the best of the new era. I think previous Impacts have been better than this show. I can't give it any higher than that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a C+.
All respectable. Mm-hmm. No doubt. Okay. So this was another edition of Slamdown Live, sponsored by Impact Fan Nation, Impact Review. We all hope you enjoyed it, chosen and the rest of the life. So join us again next week, Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. time zone is that? I know that England doesn't just have one time zone. Right?
It's UK time. It's 9 p.m. GMT.
9 p.m. GMT. Continue to check out the Impact Fan Nation web Facebook page. Continue to check us out on Twitter at Impact Fan Nation. We're now on Slamdown. We sponsor and do articles for the Slamdown website, which is Slamdown SLAMDOWN.co.uk. And I write articles for it. The others that write articles, Ashley writes articles for it. We bring in news, of course, and stuff like that. It's your one-stop shop for Impact News, just as well as Impact Fan Nation on Facebook, because, we keep it going. We keep it going. I like to give a shout out for thank you for the support of the Hillcast. The chef, Rob, the chef, Luciano at the Hillcast, he continues to support us. Continues to market us. Continues to always give us shouts out, retweet our things. Same thing for BQ at the King of the Mountain podcast. We're trying to work some things out with him as well, for marketing the things. We're going to help us out big. We help him out big. LB One of a Kind, all kinds of Miguel Contreras, Daniel Rodriguez on Facebook, Maxwell Rinke. I'm still waiting on you, Keith Cypress, and of course, Christopher Willis. Because if it wasn't for this man, there would be no Impact.
I just want to say a big shout out to everybody watching, and one thing that I'm really happy with is now Slamdown, we on our page we have news articles, and like Charles was just saying, you've written some articles on there, and which everybody watching needs to read. Amazing articles. We are looking for new writers, so if there's anybody listening that's inspiring to be a writer, contact me. I am looking for new people, but I'm also going to announce next week I will be trying to get us on iTunes. So you'll be able to download this show, play it on your phone. Even if you're at work, you can get it on your phone, put your headphones in. That's the next step that we're working towards. And in the next couple of weeks, I will have more news about Slamdown t-shirts.
Yes, sir. Slamdown t-shirts. And, of course, we got to put that Impact Fan Nation logo on some of you guys, too.
Oh, yeah.
For our Trojans. You know it. We know we're doing big things. We're trying to progress for you. This is not about us. It's about you, Impact Wrestling fans, about wrestling fans as a whole, because, you want something reliable. You don't want to just hear garbage. And that's what we try to do, is give you good stuff that's reliable. We don't try to just give you, shit like David Meltzer does and just says something out of it. But, we're not going to do that. Won't be doing that. So, just keep tuning in. Hit those like buttons on YouTube, Impact Trojan on YouTube, Slamdown on YouTube. Hell, even me.
I want to say a big thanks to Charles for running this show for me. Next week it'll be back to normal. Hopefully I should be back to full health. We are on air again with Slamdown live stream on Tuesday, 9 p.m. GMT, where I will be giving the review on Raw, and on Wednesday, 9 p.m. GMT is the SmackDown review. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, which is at Slamdown Live. I don't think there's anything else I need to plug there.
Ash, Mr. Fury, like you think close out with?
I just want to say thanks for letting me on. It was very fun.
No problem. We like to have people with different opinions, for people to hear different opinions, because we all don't think alike. And, it's just nice to hear what people have to say and how they feel about, our great company of Impact Wrestling.
Oh, no doubt. And like I said, the main point of Slamdown is to give you the fans' view of wrestling. And like you've just said, we're not a David Meltzer. We won't just feed you loads of rumours and loads of crap. Just like one of the articles you read about Rachel Ellering. We write articles that have evidence. We don't make up crap. We don't give you a load of crap like other sites give you. Like the latest Paige is no longer with WWE crap when she is. She's coming back in May. But yeah, that is the whole point of Slamdown. We're real fans, and we're passionate.
No doubt. You couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks a lot, guys, and I hope to see you tune in next week. We're out.